Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law. We help people who have been seriously injured in accidents put their lives back together. Give us a call anytime at 352-373-8000 or go to meldonlaw.com. We have a great show for you today. We've got guests from the Latina women's group that are going to talk about what's going on in Gainesville this fall. We got some great things coming up as far as events. I want to cover them right now. The big one, Miami is coming to town to play the Gators in one of the biggest opening games ever in Florida football history. Our good friend Buddy Martin had to reach back to the early 1970s to find another game, opening game that rivaled this. So we're pretty excited that we finally are back in the swing of things. Gainesville, Ocala, everything is kind of picking up because as for those of us that live in north central Florida, summer is pretty slow compared to the rest of the year because everybody heads to the beach or the mountains or vacation somewhere else. So welcome back, everybody. Meldon Law is now entering its fourth season on the air. We started after COVID, and it's been wonderful helping promote people within our community all over north central Florida and let you know what amazing people and organizations are. A couple things. The Fan Fest. So Meldon Law is having a big party before the UF Miami game right outside the O'Connell Center, the basketball arena. Show up anytime after 12 noon, and we are going to be giving away lots of great swag, including spinning the wheel of fortune. So come by there. We're going to have lots of water because it's going to be hot, and we're going to make sure everybody's comfortable. Friday and Saturday, August 30th and 31st, there's a rodeo in Ocala. The Shrine Rodeo is going to be going on, let's see, the 30th and 31st, Friday, Saturday, gates open at 5:30. The rodeo starts at 7:30, and it's at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion in Ocala. Barrel racing, bull racing, saddle racing, steer wrestling, team roping, tie-down roping, breakaway roping. For those of you that like a good rodeo, again, Friday, Saturday night, August 30th, 31st, at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion in Ocala. So let's support them. September 7th, we got another football game against Sanford, and Meldon Law will be there as well doing our Fan Fest. The Coastal Conservation Association, a group that I love, they try to make sure that our fishing waters stay healthy on the coast of Florida. And they're having their big annual banquet coming up September 12th over at Legacy Park in Alachua, Florida. It's a great event, 5:30 to 9:30. The Legacy Park, they raise funds in order to advise and educate the public on conservation of marine resources. And marine resources are threatened because you have a lot of commercial fishermen coming in and fishing out the waters and making it frustrating for sport fishermen. People that are going out for recreational fishing just want to get something on the hook. So let's support them. They're doing great work. Basically, what they're trying to do is manage the fish population so that it stays healthy. A couple other things going on. We've got the Williston's having a big party September 21st from 11 till 4 p.m. That's a Saturday. Meldon Law is sponsoring it. Our friends at Homestead Park in Williston are going to be there, so check it out. And September 21st from 10 to 6 p.m. And September 22nd, the World Equestrian Center is hosting the Ocala Comic Con. It's Florida's largest comic book convention. That's something, I think it might be the first time. I haven't been there for that one, but we love our friends over at WEC, World Equestrian Center. So if you're a comic book fan, that's it. And we're giving away lots of tickets for football, volleyball, whatever sport you're interested in. Go to Meldon Law's Facebook page. Just put in Meldon Law, and you will be there. So that's what's going on. Gainesville, Ocala is really starting to, pop up. Obviously, in Gainesville, the students all came back, and now we've got 80,000 more students than we had last week. So here they come, and let's have a good time. We're going to take a quick break on Meldon Law and Friends, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there, and I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again!
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey!
Somebody else hit us
Yeah.
Here we go again.
After the car accident, your personal life takes a toll when you have major injuries. Being a mother of 3 kids, having to work, it became overwhelming. Didn't know what was going to be my outcome at Meldon Law. Actually, they went above and beyond.
At Meldon Law, we're not just your legal team, we're your support system. You do not have to go through this alone. At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, attorney and founder at Meldon Law, and it's our great pleasure to welcome 2 very active ladies in the Latina community. Our first guest is Lillian Castro. How are you doing today, Lillian?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're very excited to have you here. And also Dr. Ericka, is it Ghersi?
Correct.
Okay, and welcome to our show, Dr. Ghersi. We're very excited to learn about what's going on in the Hispanic community in the Gainesville, Alachua County area. We know that somewhere around 14% of the population in our county here is Hispanic, and there may be even more that we don't know about. Does that sound about right?
It sounds a little high, but it wouldn't surprise me. I worked for years at the newspaper, the Gainesville Sun, and the numbers were much lower when I was there.
Yeah.
So it has grown. The Latin American community in Gainesville and Alachua County has exploded in the last couple of decades, I would say.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, Ericka?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we follow, we go online and follow it because Meldon Law is committed to serving the, Latin community. My wife is born in Cuba and raised in Venezuela, so we come by it honestly,
Yes.
And we were talking earlier that in Meldon Law we have at least 6 or 7 people that are bilingual now, speaking Spanish, so that when you're dealing with legal matters, it's nice to be able to converse in your native tongue, so that
Absolutely.
we don't want to lose anything in translation.
Yes, that's a great service that you offer.
Well,
Thank you.
we're going to keep it going and grow it. So let's talk about the Latina women's group that you're with. And what I read through some of the things that you do, and it's amazing how much activity goes on. It's called the League, right? The Latina Women's League. It's you've got all kind of events coming up, but let's first talk about what the Latino Women's League does.
Mm-hmm. The Latino Women's League is a cultural nonprofit organization, cultural and educational nonprofit organization that was founded in 2005 by Victoria Condor Williams. She had lived here for years before. Her husband was a faculty member at the University of Florida, and this was a very intelligent, hyperactive young woman who saw the need for a greater presence in Latin American culture and education in Alachua County and Gainesville. And it started small with free English classes and a book club, citizenship workshops throughout the city, and churches and other free areas, the public library. And then soon after, the idea for the film festival, which Ericka will talk a little bit more about, came around.
So what are some other activities that the League participates in and provides for people within our community?
Well, I mentioned the free English classes and citizenship workshops, but we also have story time for children at several public libraries where they do bilingual storytelling, and young children they're sponges. They pick up Spanish or any language for that matter very quickly. So it's all volunteer based. No one gets a salary in this organization. Everyone is doing it for the love of spreading culture and education, and really opening the Latin American community to the general public, so they see how diverse we are, how how rich our culture, and love for this country. That's why we're here. So yeah.
Well, I know that from personal experience, because my wife loves the United States and came here to escape communism.
Right.
And she's not the only one.
Right. Yes.
Not only that, opportunity.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we're in a very special community in Alachua County, Gainesville, because of the university presence, Santa Fe's presence, and that we really have for the size of the community, we have a lot to offer for folks
Absolutely.
that are, thinking about, maybe moving somewhere. it seems to me like there's a lot of people now that are really, are really excited about moving to a university city like Gainesville and the rich tradition that we have.
There's so much to offer. I tell people, I grew up in large cities all my life. I moved to the States. My family moved to the States when I was 4. So we grew up in Chicago and Oakland, and Atlanta was the last big city. And, you get used to this huge urban landscape. But when we moved to Gainesville, and we've been in Gainesville for about 30 years now, the transition at first took a little getting used to, but then you love the culture and the closeness that a small town offers. And it's such a blessing to have educational centers like the University of Florida and Santa Fe College that provide so many services and so much diversity in learning that, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm always selling Gainesville, although we shouldn't sell it too much because then it'll get too big.
I don't know. I look at the growth. I think we're growing at like 1.2% a year, so it's not too crazy.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, and my wife Patricia, she does Meldon Law Friends in Spanish every other week, and the guests are amazing. We have so much talent in this community, the Latina talent that we have here blows my mind. I mean, every week she's got, somebody who's doing incredible work at UF Health, or somebody that's, at Santa Fe, or somebody that's in the community who's built a great business, and so there, we really understand what's going on just because we've intentionally exposed ourselves to what's going on in the community. And when Patricia moved here in 2019 permanently, at first she was wondering like, oh, this is going to be a lot different than Miami.
Oh, yeah. Okay? A big culture shock.
And now she'd never go back to Miami.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I heard you saying is like, there's a lot of advantages living in North Central Florida, and that includes Ocala as well, because they have a vibrant, Hispanic community there.
Probably
as well.
larger than the Latin American community in Gainesville, I would think.
Yes. Well, first of all, the community in Marion County, Ocala, is about 400,000, and we're around 300,000. However, we have the college students. Some of them are permanent residents and some are not. So they're a little bit larger, and they have a bigger agricultural community, particularly with the horse industry.
Yes.
So you're probably right that they have, I think between Gainesville and Ocala, the area has about 100,000 Hispanics in the community.
That's impressive. For this size.
And you were 30 years ago. It was not like
it was
that.
not. No. I knew a handful of Cuban Americans from church, and I don't think and it's exploded. And I think that's why it's so important to have an organization like the Latina Women's League to have a place where new arrivals from different parts of Latin America can see themselves and see an avenue to contributing what their richness and professional education. Many people, they range from on educational and professional levels very vastly. So, it's wonderful to be able to connect with people who speak your language and know who you are.
Yeah, and the difference between somebody who doesn't have a rich education as far as speaking English, and they aren't a PhD or an MD or whatever, right? And they're coming into the community, that the things that you offer, free English language for adults, children's Spanish language storytelling sessions, workshops on health education issues,
free U.S. citizenship preparation classes, teaching Spanish to adults, children, teaching English to children who come here and need to learn English, culture exchange programs. So I think all of this is absolutely critical in order for, number one, to integrate people into our community. We are much different than Miami. In Miami, you don't have to learn English. You don't have to know. There's some places where you go to the store in Miami, and if you speak English, they look at you. And
You're in a foreign country.
You're in a different country. Gainesville's different. However, in many ways, I think it embraces people coming here because we're a little smaller. You can't really, you can not speak English, but it's a lot more difficult.
Yes.
Okay, so what you're doing is helping bring people into the community and helping them acquire and teach them the skills necessary to kind of fit in and thrive.
To integrate and succeed in their new country. This is where, and to help them contribute to our city and county and country. You know, we want, I think, we want to show the richness and the that Latin American immigrants bring to this country, and all immigrants for that matter. So yes, anything we can do to help that is wonderful.
Yeah, well, we're really excited to have you on the show and to talk about what's coming up next. We've got a Latin film festival coming up, and I think Ericka, you were going to speak about that a little bit.
Yes.
Why don't you take the microphone for a while and look into the camera and say hi to all of our friends.
Hello, everyone. Well, my name is Ericka Ghersi, and I'm the organizer, the coordinator of the film festival this year. And we have a 3-week film festival. It starts on the 12th of September and ends on the 29th of September.
And you have some great venues where you're going to be showing some of the films. I know the Harn Museum, the new Blunt Auditorium in the downtown campus, the Bo Diddley Plaza, the Alachua County Library, the headquarters downtown, the Matheson Museum, Smathers Museum, Center for Independent Living. So you've got some great places for all the different events coming up.
Yes, the idea is to show how Latina Women's League partner with all these venues, how our relationship with the city of Gainesville is strong. And not only the city of Gainesville, but also the universities that are here. So we have good partners in UF and also Santa Fe College. So that's why we use different venues instead of using just one. The idea is to show that everybody can attend at least one show.
We're going to be
it's
there.
Around
We're going to
the
be there. It sounds like fun. No, I mean, for those of you that want to listen to some great music, Tropics with Gilberto Paz, and that's September 14th at the Bo Diddley Plaza outside. That's Saturday night. Dance night with Latino music concert, salsa merengue, and there's going to be dance lessons. So that should be fun. We're going to come to that one. And then our good friend Elio Piedra is going to be at Bo Diddley for Friday night. Every Friday night from 7 to 9, they do a live performance on the Bo Diddley Plaza in downtown Gainesville.
Yes.
So you're going to have Elio down there.
Yes.
And we're going to bring the fiesta.
Yes.
That's what Elio says,
that
right?
would be, yes.
So let's talk about some of these movies. Like first one, The Stolen Country of Mine. Have you had a chance to see it yet?
Yes, it's an amazing movie, and we were lucky to get to know Carlos Andres Vera, the director film, the co-director film, and he's gonna come to be part of the panel of speakers.
Oh, wow.
So he will be here for that movie and also for his own movie called Propagandia.
So that's September 12th. That's a Thursday, and that's at the Harn Museum of Art, which is just a beautiful place to present a film.
Amazing place.
It's-
And that will be at 6. So most of the movies are at 6 o'clock.
That's good.
And so that gives time to everyone to get ready and go to the movie, to watch the movie.
Yeah, and the Stolen Country of Mine, which country is he talking about?
He's talking about Ecuador and how China was able to get involved with the business of Ecuador and taking over some of the lands that Ecuador has in the rainforest.
Yeah, because Ecuador, I have some good friends from Ecuador, and I know that in the past they were kind of leaders in South America. They started using the U.S. dollar early as their currency, and the country seemed to be progressing pretty well, right?
Yes.
Quito, and then
And Guayaquil.
yeah, and the beach towns and all that.
Yes, Salinas, all those places.
And
Esmeraldas was really
so
good.
the Chinese, I know the Chinese have done that in Venezuela and I guess Ecuador.
And now they are moving south to Peru.
They're building a new port in Ica, is it?
In the
South of Lima, or is it north?
north of Lima.
North of Lima, bringing a lot of jobs that people are excited about, but it makes you think, too.
Well, look, the United States and South America have always had a unusual relationship, I would say, okay? Because there was some good and there was some bad, but it was, the Americas were the Americas, right?
Yes.
And when you start having Chinese coming over here, you go, well, wait a minute, they're a long way away, and why are they over here?
Yes.
We're really fortunate too for My Stolen Country that we have a very qualified speaker for that film, the director of the Center for Latin American Studies,
Martinez, Dr. Martinez, Carmen Martinez.
Okay, yes. So,
Well,
yes.
that's good. Oh, right. So not only do we have the movie director, or the filmmaker, but also the guest speaker.
Right.
Correct.
And so,
I misspoke. She's the Center for Latin American Studies. She's an editor-in-chief for the Latin American Review.
Which is that's the major review in Latin America.
and where does she live?
She's here in
She
Gainesville.
teaches. She's faculty member at the University of Florida.
Oh,
with the
so-
Center for
oh,
Latin
that's
American
great.
Studies.
Yes,
And
we
then-
have so many intellectuals here that are amazing, that are, lumbreras in
Yeah.
all over the
Well,
the
like I
world.
said, when my wife does her show in Spanish, and she comes home and she tells, well, I had this brain surgeon on that's fixed, that's doing all these amazing things, and I've got, this person that's, leading, this part of the University of Florida or Santa Fe, or this person who started a business from nothing and has,
Yes,
70
that's
employees,
amazing.
and, is building in the community. So I probably get more exposure
Sure.
to it just because we have lots of friends that come over and hang out. I think it's important for the community to understand that we have a very well-educated Spanish-speaking community here. A lot of great things and contributions are being made. What are some other movies here?
Well, we are bringing also, we have not only Carlos Andres Vera, the filmmaker from Ecuador, we will talk also with Miguel Ferrer, who is a filmmaker for The Shadow of the Sun. That's another movie. He's from Venezuela.
What's that movie about?
Oh, that movie is about a deaf kid and how he gets to influence in.
And we're talking about The Shadow of the Sun appealing to teens and young adults. And I know that you're going to be appealing to the University of Florida Hispanic community as well.
Correct. So this year we have so many volunteers from UF, and they are just coming to help with anything they can with the film festival.
So that's September 26th, the Center for Independent Living, and the special guest, Miguel Ferrer, who's a Venezuelan filmmaker that we talked about. And it's pretty, that is exciting. I don't know if you know this, but the University of Florida now has 19% of the students there are Hispanic.
Wow.
I believe
almost 20%.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, you've really got the audience there. I think your challenge is to get them to actually show up and come. So
Yes,
what are you gonna?
yeah.
How are you gonna do that?
Well, we have been planning for a while to reach that community of young people, and
We're really making a push we get a lot of media coverage from the Gainesville Sun and the Alligator and other news outlets, the Daily News, who have written about us in years past, and we're going to be doing the same now. But certainly beating the drum on campus at Santa Fe and the University of Florida to make students aware of a place where they can find people who sound like their families in South Florida or wherever they're from. And it's also, it's a two-pronged motivation. We also are seeking more involvement from young people because, well, I'll speak for myself. You know, I've been involved in the Latina Women's League for, 15, 20 years. But, slowly I'm looking at my retirement years, and I'm hoping that I know that there's so much talent and, diversity in our community that we're looking for people to, fall in love with their culture and the practice of sharing that culture with others so they can join us in these efforts.
Well, that's great. Go to the sororities and get all the Latina women there, and the boys will all follow.
Right.
That's a good idea. Go there.
And there's plenty of other organizations at Santa Fe, and
Yes.
that
Yes,
are.
actually, we have Chispas working with us. We have the Spanish department, the students from the Spanish department, the grad students.
At the University of Florida.
At the University of Florida. They are going to be our masters of ceremony, some of them. And then we have the students at the same program, the Spanish program, helping with tables and helping with English classes and helping with citizenship classes. So they are kind of interpreters and also the teachers of English. So this is all working well because we have a very good group. We have the group of scientists from Latino scientists and Indian American scientists.
Oh, wow.
There is an organization for them, and they are also being part of us. We have there is one show that we are going to have that is called Taste of the World.
Yeah, I see that.
And
September 27th at the Matheson History Museum.
Yes, and that's basically guided by the student organizations and also India Fest and also the Center for International Students at UF. So we are actually working very closely with them.
So where should our listeners go to find out what the schedule is? What's the easiest way?
Yes, so we have a web page. It's www.GainesvilleLatinoFilmFestival.org.
Yeah. So
ORG.
So it's GainesvilleLatinoFilmFestival.org, or if you do it the way I do it, just put in Gainesville Latino Film Festival, and it will come up in your Google search.
Perfect.
Right?
Okay.
Because I don't ever use www or whatever. I try to do it the way I do it, right? Which is, okay, we're in Gainesville and we're having a Latino film festival. You put those words in and you will find what the schedule is, okay?
that's true.
We got Taste of the World September 27th at the Matheson History Museum, and they're great. We love them at the museum.
That's a food festival.
Yeah, and then Memories of My Father. That's going to be
The closing ceremony.
yeah, the closing ceremony September 29th at the University of Florida Smathers Library.
Yes, and usually the Smathers Library runs different schedules. So all the movies for the Smathers Library are at 5 o'clock instead of 6.
But everybody's going to go to Gainesville Latino Film Festival to find out what the exact hours are, because I can't remember them.
Yes,
You might be able to
I remember all
them.
of it because I've been working on that for several months.
But
I know.
there's going to be so many fun things. The dance night with Tropics at the Bo Diddley Plaza, Saturday, September 14th. That's going to be
Amazing.
wonderful.
It's
And
a
then,
huge party. And everything is free.
yeah.
Yes.
And so for those people that are football fans, I think the game is 3:30 game, so it'll be over by 7, and it starts at 7 to 10 p.m.
Yes.
So you can leave the stadium if you're a fan and go downtown to the Bo Diddley Plaza and keep the party going, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So that should turn. And actually, Gainesville downtown is so much fun during football nights. Everybody gets all excited, and
Yes,
all
that's
the
true.
restaurants and the rooms are people walking around. So I love that. We've got Children's Film Festival September 15th, Thursday September 19th. The Propaganda. That's the name of the film. What's that? Oh, Ecuadorian Presidential Propaganda. So anyhow, there's a lot going on. We want to support the really great work that you two ladies are involved in. I know it's exciting, this time of the year, this is when everything gets going in Gainesville.
Yes.
And, that's why it takes so long to get here to our studio at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. And by the way, we want to thank the whole team at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill for providing such a wonderful podcast room, and the food here is wonderful. They do a great job. Please support Spurrier's. It's a local restaurant owned by local people. The University of Florida loves Spurrier's. It's one of the main places they bring recruits, and we have lots of events here all the time. So support Spurs. It's really been wonderful for what we're doing here in the Gainesville area. We're at a close for our show now, and I want to thank you two ladies for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
And-
your invitation.
Yes.
Well, it's my pleasure. So, Gainesville Latin music. Is that it?
Latino Film Festival.
Gainesville.
Latino.
I'm going to say it 6 times. Gainesville Latino Film Festival. Gainesville Latino Film Festival. So everybody can remember. And we want to thank you for coming, and thank everybody for listening and watching to Meldon Law and Friends. And we'll be back next week with another wonderful show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.